Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is your home for organic Bible study that's fresh and delicious right here in the Bible Bistro, where we serve it up fresh every day, 100% Bible. That's my guarantee to you. Today we're looking at Psalm 97 verses 4, 5, and 6. Now yesterday we looked at this orphanic psalm beginning in verses 1, 2, and 3. We noticed that we had a picture of God's throne room. His throne is right in the middle of that. The clouds and the darkness are around him. Righteousness and judgment are the foundation or the habitation of his throne. A fire goes before him. So God in judgment reigns. He's judging his enemies, burning them up. But now we see what proceeds from that throne, and we're still talking about sovereignty. Actually, this entire psalm is about the sovereignty of God, his judgment on his enemies, and his care for his people. And we'll see that, well, I'll try to explain it to you as we go here, especially verse 7, because in verse 7, the only mention of the enemy here, the heathen, are described in verse 7, and that's right smack dab in the middle of the psalm. But then from there, we have an address directly to the Lord, and then in verses 10 through 12, we're talking about the saints and God's care of his people. So about the Lord in verses 4, 5, and 6, the word here says, his lightnings enlightened the world. The earth saw and trembled. The hills melted like wax at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the Lord of the whole earth. The heavens declare his righteousness, and all the people see his glory. So his lightnings are going out from that throne. The earth sees this, and its response is trembling. Well, actually, this is past tense here. The earth saw this. So perhaps we're talking about something that happened in creation. Then you'll notice, comparing that to verse 6, the heavens declare his righteousness, all the people see his glory. So the earth saw the lightnings and trembled. The people see the heavens declaring the righteousness of God, and they see his glory. So the heavens declare the glory of God. Remember that passage? Well, here we have it again, just kind of in a different way. The heavens declare his righteousness. The people see his glory. So who is this God that sits on that throne, whose habitation is righteousness and judgment? Who is this one that reigns, that fire goes out from before him and devours all of his enemies? Who is this one that sends out lightnings to enlighten the world and the earth trembles? Who is this one who at his presence the hills melt like wax and the whole earth? Who is this one that the heavens declare his righteousness? You see, this is the sovereign God. We go back up to verse 1, and that first phrase now becomes so very important, doesn't it? Verse 1 says, the Lord reigns. Now we understand how he reigns. He reigns in power. He reigns in justice. He reigns in righteousness. The heavens declaring his righteousness. So if he reigns in righteousness, then all of his decrees are right. He is right and he is holy, and so he must judge those that oppose him, just like any monarch would. He sits enthroned. He will have his way because he is God of the entire earth. The earth saw his lightnings and trembled. The hills melted like wax at the presence of the Lord. So who do we think we are? When we act like we're the God of our own universe. No, friends, we're not. There's only one God, and he sits on a throne of righteousness. The heavens declare his righteousness, and all the people see his glory. I think that is present tense, and I think it is also future tense. One day they will certainly see his glory and mourn that they did not worship him. All right, let's end it right there, and then we'll pick up tomorrow with verses 7 and 8 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.